So bicycling is a hugely popular activity in Backyard Industries' hometown of Urbana, Illinois, and so is the keeping of backyard chickens. It's been legal in Urbana for decades, and many households, especially in the last 5 years, have started keeping chickens in their backyards. However, Urbana's twin city of Champaign just recently legalized backyard chickens, and that was due in large part to the efforts of a bike-riding hen enthusiast named Carney. So what happens when Karen gets together a bunch of chicken appreciators who ride bicycles and visit lots of examples of fowl residents in Urbana? The first annual Tour de Coop, that's what. I'm Lisa Braultz, and this is Backyard Industry.
I'm Karen Carney. I live in Champaign, Illinois, and I am a hen enthusiast. Urbana has long allowed chickens, our twin city, but Champaign did not, and I really wanted to have backyard hens. Had read a lot about hens in other communities. So went to the city council, asked them if they would support a study session on the issue. They agreed. They held a study session, a lot of people turned out, and so by popular demand, we now have chickens in Champaign.
I went to the first class that Colleen did at the co-op and about raising backyard chickens. We had heard that Karen Carney was going to be at the co-op signing petitions, having everybody sign petitions so that Champaign could get whatever it had to do for the city council.
My purpose was really to try to put together a coop tour that would show people different kinds of coops in different kinds of backyard environments. Some people I know kind of had an existing garden and really wanted the coop as part of the whole garden system, and then other people, didn't have big backyards but just wanted a little space for chickens so that they could have a few fresh eggs. And I thought it would be fun to sort of show the range of possibilities to people and let people in Champaign see more established coops in Urbana and just make for a little crosstown community. I like to ride my bike places, and in summer it just seemed like a nice way to cover some territory, and I just thought it would make it more fun, more communal than people driving there separately in their cars.
Well, shall we ride? The red one is called Red or Delta Dawn. The white one is Opal. The gray one is Hawkwind. She says the worst part about keeping chickens are the flies, which she seems to be doing a pretty good job of managing. So we built a new coop this year. Other things that we wanted is we wanted somewhere that we could actually leave them shut up in there without feeling too bad. So we made it a lot bigger than our last one. It's like 10.5 feet by 5.5 feet. We started off with 11, I think this year, 11 or 13 maybe, 13. So we got 7 meat birds and 6 laying or day-old chicks for laying hens. The bigger kind of buff-colored ones are Pioneer chickens, or Dixie Rainbows is their other name, and those are actually dual-purpose birds. So we got 7 of those for meat, and I processed 4 roosters already this year, and we spared the hens for now, but I don't know how long we'll keep them.
My name's Phil Orr. I live in East Urbana, and this is our chicken coop. I've been slowly gathering materials, reused materials for quite a long time, and a lot of it is just stuff that's from construction projects, either stuff that I've worked on in my own career as a carpenter, or some of it is stuff we've found people getting rid of on sites like Craigslist or FreeCycle. I went into the project really really passionate about wanting to reuse as much as possible. And so everything in this, with the exception of the roofing material and a few hardware items that I wasn't able to find, is 100% reused.
We had done some more research regarding the feeder in the water. We went with this specific watering device that can be an attachment to any type of cooler, because the water stays really clean and it actually will stay fairly cool. And then the PVC feeder is something that we also wanted to, we had read and people had tried and came up with modifications, so like raising it a little bit off the ground instead of sitting it right on the ground. And it's gravity fed kind of, and then we can fill it and not really have to again worry about it for quite a while.
This is Gallina Negra, and she is a barred rock. All the white ones except for one are leghorns. We've got some Americanas in the back coming up. And they had names when they were small, but then they all changed a lot. And so some of the characteristics that they had changed so dramatically. They've been singing a lot. It's like their first time laying an egg. It's like some kind of singing that I've never heard before.
Yeah, I agree. We've been nervous that maybe we have too small a space or whether they have enough area to run around in. But our space is more the size of La Casa here, but we only have 5 birds. We're thinking of increasing that, but I was a little bit nervous that maybe it'd be too crowded. I feel more comfortable now that we actually have a good square footage for what we're doing.
Our garden is extensive and I've always hated weeding. Now I enjoy it because I know that I'm feeding my herd. And that feels good. We don't weed, we forage.
When I started telling my neighbors that this was something I wanted to do, I really kind of anticipated that they would be really reluctant, or and they were great sports about it. They were like, yeah, this sounds kind of neat, or oh yeah, my grandmother had chickens and I used to take care of them, and so it actually has become something now. When I see neighbors on the street, they say, hey, how are your chickens? Do you have any eggs yet? And it's kind of a nice thing just to have something that pulls us together as a community.
Big Bertha became Big Bert. Big Bert was invited to dinner, but not the movie afterwards.